My name is Lena, and I don't usually spend money on quiet. Yet that morning, I paid for 90 minutes of it. Steam, calm, and someone else's hands turning noise into air. The spa was tucked behind a florist shop on a narrow street in Santa Monica, the kind of place where eucalyptus leaves hung like prayer flags, and thyme smelled faintly of citrus. When I entered, everything hushed. The sound of running water came from somewhere unseen. Candles lined the counter, their flames barely moving in the humid air. I handed my phone to the receptionist as if surrendering a weapon. "First time here?" she asked. I nodded. She smiled. "Then you'll be with Mira." Mira appeared through a sliding door, tall, serene, her hair tied in a low knot that glimmered slightly under warm light. Maybe 39, maybe timeless. "Hi, Lena," she said, her voice soft enough to make the world tilt. "Follow me." The room was dim, gold-toned. Steam curled from a small fountain. I slipped into a white robe, feeling both anonymous and seen. Mira adjusted the towel near my shoulders, her fingers grazing the back of my neck for half a second too long to be purely routine. The air thickened, fragrant with lavender oil. "You carry tension here," she said, pressing gently between my shoulder blades. "Do you work at a desk?" "I live at one," I whispered. She smiled without looking up, focused and careful. Each movement was a sentence in a language I didn't speak but suddenly wanted to learn. When she asked me to breathe, I did, as if the act had been invented by her. Her touch wasn't intimate, not exactly. It was aware, present, like she was mapping invisible things beneath skin. At one point she paused, hands resting lightly against my back. "You're doing fine," she murmured. The simple kindness of it made my eyes close tighter. When the session ended, I sat up slowly, robe clinging to damp skin. Mira handed me a cup of ginger tea. "Drink this before you return to your world," she said. Her smile was steady, professional, except for the second it wasn't. Outside, the ocean wind carried the scent of salt and rain. I walked past the florist again, thinking how strange it is that someone can touch you without ever crossing a line, and still leave a mark that hums beneath your skin. A week later, I returned. The receptionist didn't ask why. "Mira's expecting you," she said with a knowing tone that made me blush. The same golden room, the same hush. But something had changed. Maybe me. Mira tied her hair back and asked, "Rough week?" "I miss the quiet," I replied. She nodded as if she understood everything I hadn't said. The massage began, but it wasn't about tension this time. It was about remembering that someone else was there, breathing in rhythm with you. "You seem lighter," she said softly. "I think it's you," I admitted before I could stop myself. Her hands paused, then continued, slower, steadier. "People come here to let go," she said, "but sometimes they find pieces they didn't know they'd lost." Her words settled into me like warm stones. I opened my eyes and met hers in the mirror, calm, searching, and a little sad. When the session ended, she didn't move away immediately. She stood near the table, steam curling around her like breath. "Can I show you something?" she asked. She led me to a small balcony hidden behind bamboo screens. From there, the sunset spilled across the ocean like melted copper. Neither of us spoke. The air smelled of salt and tea and something unspoken. Mira turned slightly, her face caught in half-light. "You feel too much," she said gently. "Maybe that's not a bad thing," I answered. She smiled, small, private, like a secret shared between waves. When her hand brushed mine on the railing, I didn't pull away. The contact was brief but real. An exhale turned into touch. We stood there until the candles inside burned low. No promises, no stories, just the quiet certainty that connection doesn't always need a name. Sometimes it only needs stillness. That night, as I walked back along the coast, I could still feel warmth on my skin, a memory beneath the surface, and I wasn't sure if it came from her hands or the part of me she'd somehow woken.